Hi, welcome to Networks Learning. My name is Riaz Gul. In today's video, we are going to see how we can configure dynamic destination NAT on Palo Alto Firewall. In my last lab, I have shown you with the static destination NAT where we were having one public IP address and we mapped it to one single lane IP address. In dynamic destination NAT, you can have one public IP address and you can map it to different lane IP addresses based on your requirements and services. So this is the lab topology. This is the same topology we used from our previous labs. So in this scenario, we are having a lane switch which is configured with one of the IP address from the lane segment 192.168.1.50 and this is the Windows Server machine. With the IP address of 192.168.1.50. So these two machines, we want to map one public IP address to access these two machines from outside, from internet. Suppose one is 192.168.1.50, which we will enable it for RDP. You can see over here, and the other one, which is the lane switch, we have configured SSH on the switch. So we'll enable SSH service against 192.168.1.150 on 10.10.50.3 IP address. So here we have one IP address 10.10.50.3. we are using this public IP address to translate services onto our lane machines. So this is the topology. I'll show you the Palo Alto Firewall configuration from my last lab. So in last lab we configured this rule, allow DNAT WAN lane. So in this rule we enabled IP level access. So any service, any port were allowed from outside to the lane IP address of 192.168.1.50 IP address. So now we will restrict it to service and port level. So the first part comes to the starting from the NAT rule configuration. Before doing that, I'll show you some of the objects that I have created to support these configurations. We have DNAT WAN address, which is the outside address 10.10.50.10.10.50.3. We have destination lane SSH, which is our lane switch for SSH connectivity 192.168.1.150, and we have lane RDP machine, which is our server machine 192.168.1.50. So we'll enable RDP, we'll enable SSH against 10.10.50.3 as destination rules. So first thing is to configure policy NAT rule add, or we need to modify this one. We'll use this rule because it's already created. We need some modifications on this rule. DNAT lane, from our IP level we'll put it to RDP, and original packet coming from WAN going to WAN based on route lookup service would be RDP, and destination address is DNAT WAN address translated packet. It's currently configured with static IP. We need to modify it to dynamic IP. And what is the RDP? RDP is 192.168.1.50 DNAT lane IP RDP. Okay, the server 1.50. So you can also see over here value 92.168.1.50. Okay, you also need to configure another rule for SSH general DNAT lane SSH, original packet, source zone coming from WAN, destination zone based on route lookup. Firewall will check where the WAN zone is located, where the IP address of the WAN interface, where the packet which is destined for 10.10.50.3, it will find it on WAN zone. Interface 1/1 service, we need to specify service over here. SSH destination address, DNAT WAN address translated packet, dynamic IP with session translated address, DNAT lane SSH IP, port 22. Okay. Also, to support this configuration, we need to provide security policy. First, we'll modify the already created DNAT security rule. DNAT pen RDP. Source coming from WAN, source address any, destination going to pre-NAT, post-NAT zone, LAN, DNAT WAN address. Application we can specify over here as well, which is RDP, MS RDP, allow. Okay, we'll create another rule for SSH. SSH source zone coming from WAN, request coming from WAN, source address could be any, destination zone, post NAT zone, this subnet is also located on LAN, destination address, DNAT WAN address, this is the pre-NAT address. Application will specify over here SSH action allow. I'll move this rule to the up, allow LAN to WAN. Okay, now we need to commit. Once the changes are successfully done, I'll resume the video. So the configuration is successfully committed. So now we need to verify. I'll initiate one SSH session from my physical machine. Before that, I need to show you the routing. So my edge router is connected on 192.168.137.0/24, which is the shared connection from my physical machine. And I have configured one static route from physical machine towards 192.168.137.25, which is the edge router. So you can see over here 10.10.50.0 and it's going to 192.168.137.25, and from firewall and from edge router I have a default route going towards this subnet. So that's why I am able to reach 10.10.50.0. That's why. So I need to initiate a SSH session 10.10.50.3. Yeah, you can see over here the session is successful. Need to log in. You can see over here we are on switch. Now I need to initiate RDP session to 10.10.50.3. So we are successfully landed on LAN server. You can see over here. So now we will verify the configuration from firewall, because the destination address is 10.10.50.3. so we have a filter over here. So traffic coming from WAN zone going to LAN zone, source address 137.1. this is my physical machine, and going to 10.10.50.3 over RDP 3389 policy rule allow DNAT WAN LAN, and this is the connection. One is RDP and the other one should be SSH. You can see over here this rule allow DNAT WAN LAN SSH. So I'll show you the detail inside the session. You can see over here, and from CLI you can also verify. So my source is 192.168.137.1, address is interface is 1/1, and destination address 10.10.50.3, and NAT IP is 1.50 for 3389. And also you can verify it from another session for SSH. 192.168.1.50 port 22 10.10.50.3 is the destination. From CLI, I think you can verify it using show session. Show session all filter application SSH. You can see over here SSH session source is 192.168.137.1, source port is random, and coming to WAN destination protocol 6 192.168.137.1, 10.10.50.3 is the destination, port 22 zone LAN translated to 192.168.1.150. This is SSH. For RDP, I think you can check with RDP for 33 MS RDP. You can see over here we have multiple sessions. I'm going to 10.10.50.3 coming from 192.168.137.1. Double 389 destination 4. So this is how you can configure dynamic destination at one-to-many mapping over here. And you can subscribe my channel for upcoming videos. In next video I'll show you how you can have a destination NAT for the subnet which is not directly connected to your firewall. You have the routing entry for on the firewall, but it's not connected. Suppose this is one of my subnet and I have another subnet over here. So in that case, what would be the destination NAT configuration and what would be the security policy changes inside the security policy or the NAT configuration? I'll show you in the next video. So subscribe to my channel and give me some feedback if you have anything to simulate or anything, any advice or any suggestion from your end. That would be helpful for me. Thank you so much.